Rode number 1. Cantabile. 3/4. Really, really freaking slow. Lots of tiny notes. They're basically convoluted ornaments. Left hand fingers dropping. Good bow contact. Should be fine. Looks like there's a lot of shifting. Might want to get your pencil out and pencil that stuff in so you're not constantly working it out or fudging it or falling over yourself. I especially find the last line, the sul G in the last 3 bars, a little challenging for my reach. I need to make sure that my shoulder's really loose so I can swing my elbow through and drop my fingers onto the G string with accurate intonation. Let's actually start there with the last 3 bars. Okay, you can choose to play the G with a harmonic or with a fingered note. This is the hoik. Fifth. First. Okay, let's do that again. The hoik up to the C natural is, I think, fine as long as you lead it with your arm. Don't try and lead it with your finger and bring your arm later. That will end in disaster. Arm moves, finger drops onto a C. The third finger is going to play an A. Don't think about shifting, just think about leaning back a little bit away from the 4th finger. Everything's so close together up there anyway. What are we in? 7th position? Yeah, okay. So in 7th position, even your tones are quite close. So just to lean back away from the 4th finger and you should get the 3rd finger onto your A, which you can check because it's an A natural. And then same thing, 1 should fall into spot. Then we have a return to 3rd position, which feels pretty comfy and normal. Okay, let's play the last 4 bars again. 1, 2, 3. Sideways. I actually hit the G side on with my finger instead of placing on top. Let's go again for my error, thank you. And okay, next thing. We're not worried about that yet. We're focusing on the cantabile section. Let's go back a little further now. Maybe the phrase before this spick. Yeah, again, and. One more time, and. There is different bowing marked in different editions, so I don't know what you've got on yours, but I'm following mine. Breathe, harmonic. Hoik. Okay, I take quite a lot of license with those rests. But there are a lot of different interpretations of this study around. I think some of them very strictly adhere to metronomic division and some of them lean into the ornaments. You work out why you're playing this study. If it's to develop a more brilliant style or improvisational style or a gypsy kind of choose your own adventure feeling, then by all means lean into those ornaments. If you are working on this study to work with rhythm and subdivision and counting, put your metronome on and observe them, okay? Let's take it back a phrase. Let's go from bar 9 where we have helpful to know what notes you're playing. A natural, D natural, ooh, an F natural, a little bit poignant. Check. That's my cheat. Play it an octave or 2 lower. So if you're not sure about what you should sound like, navigate around your violin and work it out. The cheat. Great, take it up an octave. Back to 3rd. Okay, let's do that again from the A. And you can hear all those notes aren't actually essential, right? They're not plugged into the melody. What we're really playing is that's our tonal pattern. The rest is just fluff. So try and be playful with it and have a spontaneous feeling behind it. Again. Oh, just those things. Quick. Great. Okay, now we have a bunch of demi-semi-quavers. Let's play them separately and sort the intonation out. The middle of the second line. It's bar 7. Again, make sure those fourth fingers are really perpendicular to the string so that your intonation is true. If they're sideways, you're just going to have crappy fuzzy notes. Third, first. Cool, so we've got first position, third, then fifth, then third, then first. Again, and. In my edition, the fourth fingers there are accented, so another good reason to be really on top of the notes and really leaning on them heavily. And. Okay, let's play from there to the end of it. Okay, let's go back another bar. Or let's go back another phrase. So we're back at bar 5 now. We're in third position. Okay, again with the separate bows. Starting in third position, ready to move to fifth. Fifth. Move. Move. I like here that we go third, fifth, third, second, fourth, second. It's a good lesson in the geography of your fingerboard and finding the notes you're shifting to, thinking about the quantity of your shifting as well as the pitch you're going to. Again from the third position. Now the demi-semi-quavers. How are we feeling? Yep, good. Okay, let's play it with the bowing now. I tend to practice things without the bowing because it means I can really focus on the intonation of what I'm playing and the shifting and the timing, and then I stick the bowing in later on. Ready? And. Again, it's easier a little faster because you won't run out of bow. It's much more difficult to play it super, super slow at a learning speed. Okay, there are dynamics in there that you can support with your vibrato and bow weight. And again, when you're playing it that little bit faster, it's easier to vary your bow speed to push the dynamics along. Let's play the start of it, finally. Wow. Again, at the beginning, you either want to start with a third finger in fourth position or a fourth finger in third position. It depends on your vibrato, your tone, what you're trying to achieve by practicing this study. For me, I want my fourth finger to be a little bit stronger, so I'm using my fourth finger for the first note. I can set up the vibrato before I start, and I can make sure it's consistent throughout the note. Go to third position. First three lines under control for pitch and shifting. Super. Matele. We all know what matele means, right? If you don't, use Google. That's what it's there for. Thinking about detaching your notes from one another, really separating them cleanly and clearly, because when we add those trills, you're going to want all the bow control in the world. Oh yeah, these squid fingers going to come in really handy. And thinking about using your whole arm. So don't think about just opening and shutting with the hinge of your elbow. Think about the upper arm and its role in working sharply and helping you put weight into the bow and control the bow. This feeling of... It works better if your elbow and shoulder are swinging loosely in the socket. If you try and open and shut it, it's a very dead sound. So instead we've got to think about the bow drawing those little curves on the string. And that only happens if you've got a little bit of motion in the shoulder socket. Let's play slowly for intonation purposes. This requires some careful reading because there are a ton of accidentals in here. And let's not rush. Okay, first little chunk of this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Shift to second. Third. Oh, I missed my shift. I'm going to fifth position there. I've got to make sure I'm getting an E with my third finger. So that's the note I'm looking for, that harmonic. You can easily road test it. Maybe worth drilling the shift. Yeah, 20 times or so. Third. Okay, good spot to stop and recap. So far in our first 3 lines, we've had a decent amount of shifting. We have a ton of trills. The shifting usually supports trilling with your second or third finger. There's a spot in bar 23, or again, you've got to decide, why are you practicing this study? If it's to improve your fourth finger trills, or if your fourth finger trills are weak, it might be of benefit to you to stay in first position and articulate the fourth finger trill nicely. If you're practicing this for martelet or bow control or shifting, shift and play it with the third finger. But that's down to you and your motivation for doing this. Bar 20, where I tripped over the shift, I would stop and practice that. Just because it's a note you want to feel very confident going into, and it's a high squeaky note, and it's really obvious if you happen to get it wrong. When you're up in that fifth position, you should be able to hold your second finger on both strings. You'll want to aim for the black space between the strings. Don't try and put it on E and then rock across to A, or A and flop onto E. You'll just get crappy intonation at least half the time, probably all the time. Instead, aim for the black space between the strings, just like you're playing a perfect fifth chord. Same approach. So maybe let's play again from the beginning of it, the 12/8, which I have in my music as both common time and 12/8. So it's got that feeling of 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you love dual time signatures? I can't talk anymore. Okay. Yum, bum, 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 bum. That's enough. We don't need to play any faster than that right now. And second. Third. Third. We feeling okay? Cool. Make sure your bow stays nicely attached to sound the trills. Let's go on. We've got a little C, E, C. Oh, feels like C major. How interesting. And get up there. Oh, that's where I like trilling with my fourth finger on that G, because a challenge. That's why I would practice this study, to help fourth finger trills. That's my personal spin on it. Again, if you want to practice the shifting instead of the fourth finger trills, then you should shift to second position there. Second position, first. Oh, nice shifting, right? So in bar 25, you go to second position. Make sure you shift while you play the A. Back to first. Up to fourth position. You want to know how that feels with a little bit of rotation. Fifth. Edge that first finger back. It only goes back a semitone. So, I don't know, you might want to think of it as a low one rather than an actual shift to fourth position. Let's play the C and then the B. Yeah, there's a grace note in my music, the B up to the G. So I've got C, B, B up to the G, which is kind of nice because it encourages me to keep the contact with the string with my first finger as I shift. Let's go from the start of that bar. We've got a second finger on the D string in 5th position to play C natural. Got it? Now to 3rd position. Low 1 again, and catch it. Watch out for that C natural, it's often a bodgy note. Let's play that from the F natural. And over to 3rd position. Low 4, use half. 2nd, 1st. Okay, so that's our next little chunk underway. Just be careful of those accidentals cropping into the last line. Maybe let's play again from 30. Ooh, isn't that weird? You've got an F natural, but because the G sharp accidental precedes it, shift to 3rd position, A string 5th position, 3rd, 1st, half position chord. Make sure you've got the 1st finger on G, 2nd finger on A and D together. Aim for the black space between the strings. Okay, I see a lot of sharps in there. Want to do it more slowly? Yeah, okay, so do I. Let's play from the nasty chord. G sharp, E, B, E. C sharp, get your intonation. The 3rd finger is going to play an E, which you can check with a harmonic. A sharp, F double sharp, that's really your G natural, right? That feeling? Into 3rd position. Watch out for that G sharp again. And then we have that minor feeling creeping in as we head down to the A. And let's play that one more time. I cut out a couple of the trills just for intonation's sake, and I think that's a wise way of practicing this to check your A sharp consistency and make sure that that's not getting fudgy. Let's go from the start of the line again. G sharp, E, B, E. A sharp, C sharp, E, we even added a little extra bit on. Now after that G natural we have something horribly pitchy. Oh, it's only an F natural. We already played that in our previous bar. So how do I get to an F natural to there? That might be a shift worth practicing. If you want a challenge. Take your hand off, find it again. I love maroon the violin. Run away, find the note in your head, find it on the fingerboard. Okay, it's a nice strategy when you've got that big open shift, which is exactly what you're dealing with here. We're down in first position on the G string. And while we're playing the G, we want to be making that shift. So it's very much a feeling of, I have no way of knowing where I'm going. Find it. Okay, so don't be afraid to pause me and practice that a few times, doing stupid stuff with your hand and then finding the right note. Oh, my shoulder rest just decided to collapse on me. No thanks, we won't have that. Not into dropping my violin halfway through a study. Okay, so we have ascertained that there are some pitchy shifts in here that need love and careful practice and taking your hand away from the violin. Alrighty, let's play from that open G and the pitchy thing. F natural. Second. E flat. Who thought that was a good idea? So we've gone from F natural now down to an E flat. We're changing our mood for the worse. Well, let's play from the... Oh, stuff it. Go back to the open G again. G, F natural. Shift. Second. Oh, sorry, that should be an A flat. All right, so we've had our sharp workout. Now we've got our flat workout. Sorry about the A flat that I tripped over. That was ridiculous. Let's try playing from the bit where it all comes crashing down. The bar before the first E flat. So we've got lean back, A flat chill, shift, you might have noticed the second fingers marked. I've got them marked in my edition. They're being used for all those B naturals so that we move our second finger from C natural to B natural, and then we've got the first finger ready to drop onto the E string for the F naturals. So if you don't have that marked in your music, it's worth marking in the bar, starting with the A flat. I don't have bar numbers, that's a bit sad. But on my A flat bars, move the 2 back, drop the 1 on. 1, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. Here we can use our first finger because we've changed the phrase. Chromatic climb, and just be careful that you use the finger that's marked, especially the third finger for the F sharp. Let's play the chromatic bar starting on the A flat on G. Oh, it looks like a big fifth position shift. made that note. That was really weird. Play from your bow with the G. I'm shifting up too high. I'm going to a C sharp instead of a C. Don't do what I just did. That was really dumb. First, C again. Third position, D. Okay, so we have some just weird climbing stuff going on. In light of my error, play that in first position. Let's do it together. Okay, then we have friendly stuff. Again, that bar with all the G stuff in it. I don't like that extended fourth finger either. Yuck. You could go to D string for it and then play an open D on the 2. I feel like if you're practicing this for timbre and tone color, then you should probably stay up and play the extended fourth. Knowing the shape of my hand, I'm going to cheat it. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, let's put it back into position. And yeah, I'm going to play a third finger in first position there. Just, it doesn't work for me any other way. Right, now this is about shifting and third fingers and consistency. So yes, all the trills happen with the third finger and we're starting from fourth position. You may just want to play the pitch with me. That's all, we've got a little descent, it's quite sweet. Now try playing it in position without the trills. Yeah, again. One more time. Line is that? Okay, let's play from our descent with all those second and third finger trills. Let's put the trills in this time. Ready, and... Oh, check out the shifting. Double G, be careful of that. A5. That feels suspiciously like the beginning. What a nice surprise. So once you've made your way through the chromatic jungle, you're pretty much home free. Let's head all the way back to the chord. Yeah, for me it's the 6th line of the 2nd page. For you it may be something slightly different. And it takes us into the G section and then the chromatic section. So find your third. second. Get your chord set up as an F natural and a B natural, so your fingers are touching really nicely. Yep, and next one, get your first and second fingers set up so they're touching. Because those semitones are everything. Now, the last little bit, I have it annotated two ways in my score. You can have go straight up the E string, or you can play fifth position here and climb over. It's going to depend how you like your tone color to come out. I really don't mind the kind of brilliance of just shooting straight up the E. Or, ooh. Doesn't take my fancy quite as much. I think I find that shift to the grace note a little bit awkward, so I try to avoid it. So, as you can see, there's plenty of shifting in here. And when you find a tricky shift, narrow it down to the two notes, right? The third position note and the fifth position note, and just drill the two sounds. Play them an octave lower if you need to get the pitch relationship established accurately inside your ears, so you anticipate what you're going to play. It can be a little disorienting sometimes when you're up already on the E string and everything's a bit high and squeaky. It's easy to gravitate towards the note that rings and accidentally miss the note that's in the score, especially when you have things like an E flat or an F natural, and your ear would really like an E natural that rings or an F sharp that sounds cheerful instead of the minor thing that's going on in here. So just be aware that some of those progressions aren't what you want to hear. They're a little bit of an acquired taste for your ear. I am going to work on those weird flats because I don't feel terribly fluent playing those. I'm quite happy reading the sharp accidentals, but when I get those flat accidentals, my brain just goes spring. So that's my thing to work on, and that's why this study is a great challenge for me to get out and dust off and repolish. So I hope this has been of some help to you. Think about your bow technique, your string crossings. Don't take it too pacily. These things are really better practiced at a slow or a moderate tempo, and you organically let them get faster. If you're finding that you're lagging in consistent spots, put a metronome on really slowly, like so slow it's boring, and then tick it up one at a time to get your tempo nice and square. Good luck.